Qatar's Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Thani has met the U.S. Secretary of State Rubio and the Vice President Vance at the White House this Friday. Israel's war on Gaza and Israel's attack on Hamas leaders in Doha earlier this week were among the items discussed. Qatar hosts the largest U.S. military base in the Middle East and has long been an American ally. Let's bring in our Kimberly, Halkett, our White House correspondent in Washington, D.C. Kimberly, any details emerging from these talks?
Yeah, well, what we know is that the talks aren't over, and that may be why we still have not had any sort of formal readout. What is taking place is, as you mentioned, the first meeting has wrapped up, and that took place between Qatari officials as well as the U.S. Vice President and Marco Rubio, Secretary of State National Security Advisor. But another meeting is still to be held, and that will take place in New York. That will involve the Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, along with the Qatari Foreign Minister and Prime Minister, again in New York, as well as Donald Trump. Now, they're going to continue the conversations with regard to Israel's attack on Doha earlier this week and the fact that Israel essentially tacked the negotiations that were to end Israel's war on Gaza. The men were discussing a proposal that had been put forward by Donald Trump. And so as a result, it's about how to move this forward now and what the next steps are to ending Israel's war on Gaza. But the other important piece in all of this is the security cooperation that occurs between the United States and Qatar, a very valuable relationship, very strategic value to the United States. And so we know that given there was a security agreement that was signed with the intent back in May when the U.S. president visited Qatar, that is now, we understand, being rushed to finalize some direction that the U.S. president gave to Marco Rubio, and which has been a focus of these meetings as well.
Thank you, Kimberly, for the update. We'll come back to you, of course, for the latest from there. Kimberly, Halkett.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.